Okay, so what actually we have learned in our previous session was regarding the DLL injection, right? We had understood what actually is the difference between DLL hijacking. We had understood how we will be able to go forward and what actually is DLL injections and what are the steps to find the DLL injection within the application. Now, as we had discussed, the main remediation of this particular DLL injection is regarding the DEP, right, which is data execution prevention. So that is what we'll be understanding in our today's session, that how we will be able to validate if any application has DEP enabled or not, right? So we will be understanding our main agenda for today's session is to understand what actually is ASLR, what actually is DEP, how we can find that they are enabled or not. And then we will be understanding the side channel data attacks, data leakage, right? So these are the things which we'll be understanding in our today's session. The first thing which we'll be taking up is this one, which is ASLR. Now, ASLR and DP are both of those security features which will be implemented or which will be available within the application. Now, if they are enabled, definitely it will be having good amount of those specific scenario where the application will be able to go forward and have those specific memory corruption and all of those kind of things will be not will be remediated from the first end itself, right? Now, what actually is ASLR? ASLR is address space layout randomization. What actually it will be available, like what actually it will be doing? Basically, it will be going forward and it will be taking up all of those specific memory corruption vulnerabilities. It will not be allowing those specific vulnerabilities to be taken up within the application itself. So previously we had understood, right, that when it comes to the memory leakage, we had gone forward and we had seen many things where basically the clear text details were coming up from the memory. We had understood how the memory or how the memory can be allocated within the process, right? So all of those kind of things, if the SLR is enabled, typically those specific things will not be there. Second thing is DEP, which is data execution prevention. Now, this is one of the other security feature which can be enabled within the thick client applications. What it will be doing is whatever are the pages of memory which is taken up, it will be going forward and it will be disallowing the separate applications to access those specific type of things. Okay, so overall, the memory where the application is getting executed will be protected. So how we can validate whether those specific things are available or not within the application, right? So basically what we will be doing is whenever this ASLR and DEP is available, we'll be utilizing our previous tool itself, which is Process Explorer, and we will go forward and we will validate the same whether they are enabled or not. So what we'll be doing, the first thing will be to go forward and execute our application, the client application. So here we are taking up this application. We have already seen past of the test cases within the same application. We will be validating within the same application itself. Now, once the application is in execution stage, what we'll be doing is we'll be going forward and we will be opening up our Process Explorer. So basically here you can use Process Explorer or Process Hacker, anything will be fine. Currently, what we'll be doing is we'll be entering Process Explorer, because Process Hacker is the one which we have already seen previously, right? So basically, just to have a overview of another tool as well. So we are going forward and we are seeing this application as well. Process Explorer is available from sysinternals itself. So basically from where we had downloaded the process monitor, within the same place, you can download Process Explorer as well. Let us go forward and let us download it. So basically the tool will be taking the similar type of spaces which it was taking for a process monitor, right? The tool will be much more faster, and basically it will be in keybase itself. It will not be in it will not be taking much more resources from our system as well. Let us wait for a few seconds for this to get completed. Yep, so basically here within the sys internals we'll be able to find and we will just download it and install it. Installation steps will be same as other the client application or other tools which we had seen previously. We'll wait for a few seconds for this to get loaded. Actually today my network connection is not that much great, so I believe we need to bear. But yeah, in case if my voice is breaking or my screen is lagging, do let me know. We will be redoing that particular topic. I will just wait for a few seconds for this to get loaded. We can just download that one, and what I will do is, in case here it is, yeah, basically here it is loaded, we will just quickly download it, and we will use the same. Now again, the same task can also be done in Process Hacker as well with the same functionalities, so it will not be an issue for us to utilize any of the tools. We will just quickly unzip that particular file, and we will execute the tool. Now you can see the 𝗓𝗏𝗶𝗶 client application is already in the running stage. So basically we will be having that details already available. We will just quickly extract this zip file. And then we will execute the tool. So basically, this is the one. We will open a Process Explorer, the normal one itself. We will execute that one. And what it will do is basically it will be showing us all the information about the processes which are running within the system. If you are utilizing it for the first time, we need to agree for the licenses and the agreements, right? And later on, the tool will be executed by default. And you can see the same type of things, like the details are shown up, like what we were having in Process Hacker. Now, what we need to do? We need to go forward and check for that particular application, which is our thick client application, which we want to test. What we will be doing is we will just right click on that, and basically what will happen is we'll be able to see the details here. Within this place, what we need to focus on is this particular place, which is data execution prevention status and address-based load randomization, right? Both of these particular things should be enabled. If they are not enabled, then those specific type of DLL hijacking, right? Sorry, DLL injection. So all of those specific type of vulnerabilities will be available. But yeah, in case if it is enabled here, if it is enabled, typically those specific things will be by default remediated by the application itself. So this is what we'll be looking at within this particular place, right? And basically we will be checking if it is disabled. We will be directly going forward, and we will be adding the same thing, that these are the things which are disabled within the report itself. These checks are similar to the header checks which we normally do within the web applications. Typically, we might be having some of the vulnerabilities where we tell that, okay, this header is not available, this CSP header is not available, right? The similar things will be done here as well, where we will be validating that whether those specific security mechanisms are enabled or not. If not, we will be reporting the same, and basically the same thing should be enabled at that point of time. Next thing is channel data leakage. Now, what actually happens is whenever there is any kind of thick client application, typically what happens is basically the application during the execution, it will be having many things which it will be updating, or it will be loading within that particular scenario, right? For example, if there is one of the functionality which is executed, for example, if it is login, so at that point of time, what happens is just to process those specific things, it will be having some specific type of temporary log files, right? Basically, those specific log files will be available where the data will be there, and basically at that point of time it might be utilizing that particular log files to go forward and see whether there is any kind of error reporting or those kind of things are available or not, or to check whether there is any kind of statistics or those kind of things which are available or not, right? So basically, because of that particular reason, normally the log files are available within the application, right? And typically most of the application have log files where it will be getting all the details. But now what we need to do is we need to review those specific log files, validating whether there is any kind of sensitive data which has been available there or not. So how we will be able to check? We will be executing the application within our command line, and whatever are the output which is coming up, we will be storing that particular output within a text file to validate what actually are the things which can be stored by the application whenever it is in the execution stage. So what exactly we are going to do? So basically we will go forward and we will take up any of the application. For example, we will take one of the application, which is this one itself. So again, all the things will be available within the PPT for your practice. Let me just go to downloads and let us take one of the applications. So for example, now we are having this application which is available. Now what I want to validate is whether there is any particular type of files which are generated at that point of time or not. So normally how we are executing the application, we will just double click on that and we will be able to see the functionalities, right? Now what we need to do in this scenario is we will be executing the application within the terminal and give the output to one particular file. So what we'll be doing is we'll be entering CMD here in the path. Why exactly? Because in this particular path itself, the command line will get open. So we will enter CMD there, and typically you will be able to see the specific path where we are having our particular tool or the executable file which is available. We will be taking up that particular application, which is the name of the application. And basically, and after that, we will be giving the output, okay, to one particular file. Okay, so what actually is happening here? Basically, whenever we are entering this particular file name, the executable file, it will execute that particular executable file within our system, and whatever is the output which is coming up will be stored in that file which is available. We'll do that once we are done with that. Okay, once we execute that particular command, what we'll be doing is we'll be going forward with all of those specific functionalities which are available: successful login tries, unsuccessful login tries, creating account, right? Utilizing or executing all the functionalities, changing the password, all of those kind of things. So in this scenario, let me just enter some of the wrong credentials. So for example, I'm entering the wrong credentials. You can see unknown error. I will try to go forward and enter some specific type of create account, and we will see. So at that point of time here, you can see this kind of things are coming up. We will go forward and we will check if there is any other functionalities. Now, purely you can check for the successful tries and all of those kind of things, right? But now we want to see, once we have completed that particular functionality, we want to see that what actually are the things which has been coming up within the application. So here you can see the things which we were seeing at that point of time, right? The tokens and whatever are the things which we are seeing within the application, those kind of things are available within that particular text file. So same way, we will be validating the text file, whether there is any specific type of tokens, any type of keys, any type of credentials, all of those kind of things. Now in this scenario, this is public key token, so it is okay because public keys or public tokens are meant to be shared to the external parties, right? But in case if there is any kind of private key, credentials, or those kind of things, right, internal URLs or any kind of temporary files, folders, any kind of sensitive data, all those specific things we will be validating and will be checking whether there is anything which is available here or not. Let us go forward and check one of the other application. For example, if we are having this application, or if in case if this is the installer, Okay, let me just go forward with different set. Basically, here we will open the command line and we will enter the specific application name. Then we will be going forward, and here you can see this is the link. It is anyhow the shortcut. If you want, you can just go forward and right click on that particular shortcut, and you will be able to get into the main location, and there you can execute. So here you can see open file location, and typically you'll be able to get where exactly the application is available. So basically here if we will be able to see this is an executable file, we can go forward and we can enter here. So we can enter command line here. We will enter FTP and the name of the application, and then we will go forward and we will enter the specific output to a specific file. So basically I will enter ftp.txt, and basically what will happen is here you can see if it is not available, either the application will throw some specific type of error, or basically you will be able to get details. Now in this scenario, in case if you are not having the specific permission to execute within this particular file, so at that point of time the access can be denied. What we will do is we will just open that particular application and we will save that particular file in some another directory, for example in the desktop or something else. So let us go forward and let us have that particular detail. So I will just go to desktop. I will execute, or I will take that, or I will just go forward with documents or any particular place. We'll enter C. Not sure because of the VMware, not getting the specific backslash, because sometimes it changes our keyboard layout, right? So that is the main reason. Check. Okay. So anyhow, what actually we will be doing is we will go forward and we will take up and we will validate. So let me just go to and take that executable file somewhere else. Otherwise, we can just give the other path as well. It will not be an issue. But what I will do is I will just take that executable file, we will copy it, we will go to our desktop, we will paste that particular file, we will execute here itself, and we'll be getting a good amount of permissions from where we can store it as well. We will go ahead and we will enter the text file, we will execute it, and basically what will be happening is here we can see those specific things are there. But now as the application was having those specific properties in place, so at that point of time what happened is basically it will be throwing us a specific error and we will not be able to go forward and get any of those specific results. So this particular place, normally the file which we have created will be empty. So this kind of things would be available within the application, where the application should not be creating the logs. But yeah, many times what happens is during my projects also, the similar kind of thing has happened, that they require logs for some specific type of statistical purposes or any kind of error validations, right? So at that point of time, in case if there is some kind of business requirement where those specific error detections and those kind of things are required, typically what we will be recommending them is not to not to add any specific type of sensitive data within the logs, right? For example, if there is any kind of credentials or any kind of sensitive data which application is taking, those kind of things should not be available into that particular log files, right? So this is how we will be able to check for both of those specific things, which is the ASLR, DEP, and client or basically side channel data leakage. Any doubts, any queries till now? Anyone? Yes, Anuradha.
So talking about the first point, जो हमने प्रोसेस हैक और जो टूल है हमारा उससे देखा है, वहां पे हमें मिला है कि बोथ आर डिसेबल. सो दैट इज द बेस्ट कैंडिडेट टू चेक फॉर द DLL इंजेक्शन अटैक, राइट?
Correct, exactly.
Yes,
Yes,
मतलब
yes,
वहां ही होगा तो go for this attack. Otherwise, if they are already in a place like unable है, तो there will be no more
correct,
chances of going further for that attack.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Any doubts, any queries, anything, guys?
साइड चैनल अटैक में खाली वही करना है क्या? उनका EXE लेना है and output to the some other
हाँ
TXT
हाँ,
and then execute the application.
correct,
Suppose कुछ log में आता है तो but okay, if that get into the log, then there is a vulnerability. जो
correct,
okay.
exactly. Okay. Any doubts, any queries, anything, guys?
No.
Okay. The next one which we are supposed to learn is weak GUI controls. So what we will be doing is we'll be understanding the theoretical part of this particular thing, okay, today, and then we will be seeing the practical of this particular vulnerability in our next session. So what actually is weak GUI controls? Okay, many times what happens is uh, because of the authorization of the applications, right? Within the applications, what will happen is there will be few of the functionalities which will be visible to a normal user and few of the functionalities which will be visible to an admin user. So for example, let's understand this with one of the applications example. For example, we are having one thick client application. And basically what happens is there is two of the roles, user roles, one is admin and one is the normal user. Now what happens here is basically when it comes to this particular user, admin user has a few of the functionalities. The first one is normally the login and registration, change password, and one of the other particular functionality is to manage users. Now, similar functionalities are available with normal users, but except it does not have the manage users permission. So now what happens is typically many of the times developer what they do, okay, basically because of that particular reason, okay, that this functionality is only enabled for the admin users, what they do is this functionality will be available in normal user as well, but just that particular page will be hidden, right? So if they are not able to see the button, they will not be clicking it, and basically they will not be able to access the functionality. So this is how the normally the authorization is being done within the thick client applications. So whatever are the things which are we are not supposed to see, we will not be seeing it, and basically that makes the difference between the normal user and admin user or any kind of other users. Now, what happens in weak GUI control? So typically, whenever we are having this particular type, whenever we are validating this particular type of vulnerability, what we will be doing is we'll be validating how exactly those specific type of pages and those things are available, what actually are the properties of each and every pages which are available, and whether there is any specific type of data or pages or any specific type of functionalities which are hidden or not. We will try to unhide those specific things and we will validate whether we are getting any specific type of things which are hidden. That is the first thing that we will be looking into the hidden pages within the application, and we will see whether there is any kind of things which are hidden, which are available, with whether there is any kind of hidden properties, whether there is any specific type of hidden data. Whatever are the things which are available, we will log in into the normal user and we will see all those specific checks whether there is any kind of hidden things which are available or not. The second thing is we will try to modify the GUI of the application, right? So at that point of time, if there is any specific type of things which are written, for example, there is one text box, and the text box says that there is those specific things, which is something like there is some of the query which has been written, right? Whether we can modify those specific data or not, right? So all of those specific type of things will be seeing in weak GUI control. So typically we'll be working with the GUI of the application, try to change it, try to modify it, try to unhide it, and validate how actually that particular details are coming up. Okay, so that we that is what we'll be seeing in weak GUI controls. But again, the configuration part, okay, understanding the backend of it, understanding the properties, what actually are the properties of the client application, all those things will be taking much more time. So we will not be breaking out this particular thing into multiple sessions. What we'll be doing is we'll be starting this particular topic within the fresh session itself. Okay. For today, what you guys can do is, today you guys are having a bit more time because the topics were this one, right, side channel, and the test cases are a bit smaller. So basically today you have gotten some time, right? So what you can do is you can practice on this one, and then we will go forward and we will understand the fresh topic from the next session itself. Any doubts, any queries, any questions till now? Anyone?
No.
No?
ये जो HTTP वाला होगा ना, लाइक इको मिराज और बाकी जो टूल है हमारे बर्बी यूज करते हैं,
वो हम ट्यूसडे
वो
को करेंगे।
ट्यूसडे के करेंगे।
जी
ओके
जी।
ओके, हाँ हाँ।
मेजरली यहाँ पे थिक क्लाइंट एप्लीकेशन में सर्वर साइड वर्नेबिलिटीज इतना हमने, जैसे कि एफटीपी हो गया, राइट? तो
हाँ
एफटीपी है, फिर एसएसएच है, तो वो सारा हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम उनको देख सकते हैं, उनको मॉडिफाई नहीं कर सकते।
राइट, हाँ।
जो एचटीटीपी वाला आता है, जो बफसेट से जाता है, वही हम मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं। तो वहां पे क्या चीज होगा कि वो सारा जो बाकी सारे प्रोटोकॉल्स होंगे वो हम सिर्फ मॉनिटर कर पाएंगे, और ये वाला जो है ना एचटीटीपी जो बफसेट से हम जाएगा एमआईटीएम प्रॉक्सी से, तो वो हम मॉडिफाई करके चेक कर सकते हैं। तो वो हम ट्यूसडे को देखेंगे सारा कुछ।
ठीक है, ओके ओके।
Yep. So, yeah, this was it from my end, guys, for today's session. Tomorrow, we are not having session due to the public holiday, right? Good Friday. We will be having our session on Monday, and we'll be learning this particular things. But during your long weekend, in case if you if you are stuck in any of the practicals, right, any of the assignments, do let me know. I will be able to help you from there. Okay.
Keval, actually, there is something like a binary decompilation for thick client. Are we covering that part?
Yeah, that will be in the reverse engineering part. That will be on the Wednesday session.
Okay, okay, yeah, fine.
So we will be looking into the like tools like Hydra or basically IDA Pro, right? And what we'll be doing is we'll be trying to extract out the assembly level code, and we'll be reviewing the same, how actually it is working, and what are the major functionalities, whether we are missing out on any of the functionalities, something like that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye everyone.
इसका ये दे दो ना, एक्चुअली ना केवल कैसे होता है ना, विल इट बी ओके लाइक आप वो शेयर हमारे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे करो जहाँ पे हम लोग ऐड है, जो पीपीटीज होंगे।
व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में मैं सभी तो शेयर नहीं कर सकता, पर यहाँ पे
हाँ,
मैं
यहाँ पे कर लो, यहाँ पे कर लो। और जो रिकॉर्डिंग है ना, उनके पास भी आप दे सकते हो आपका जो डेटा है, सो दैट हमारे पास एक इकट्ठा रहेगा आपका रिकॉर्डिंग, और ये जो स्टडी मटेरियल है हमारे लिए, लाइक पीपीटीज।
क्या चीज? रिकॉर्डिंग का?
पीपीटी, हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग है ना, रिकॉर्डिंग अभी अपडेटेड, मतलब 2 मिसिंग है लेटेस्ट मेरे लिए, मुझे देखना पड़ेगा क्योंकि मैंने पहले चेक किया है, नहीं आता है तो मैं उनको कनेक्ट कर लेती हूँ जो मिसिंग है।
Sure, sure, sure. Okay. I have shared this PDF over this chat window. You guys can download, and then we can close this meeting.